Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 22 in the 30-day manifesting challenge on YouTube. I'm Lisa Kessler. I am an author, tarot card creator. The Practical Tarot comes out in 2 weeks, and you can pre-order it at the link below. I'm also a manifesting coach, and I am manifesting more subscribers for the channel. So please hit the subscribe button down below and join us. I do free tarot readings every week, and also there's book updates and all kinds of fun things. So we would love to have you be part of the channel. So this week we are kicking off. We are into this will be the final week 4 of the manifesting challenge. And this week we are focusing on manifesting spiritual growth. So this is, enhancing your connection with your higher self. It's really important when you're manifesting. This week we're really getting into the metaphysical part of metaphysical manifesting. So the first week we worked on intention. The next week we worked on manifesting abundance. Last week we worked on manifesting love, self-love, relationships, all that kind of thing. And so this week, spiritual growth. And today is the first day of that. So today we are focusing on unlocking your intuition. Everybody has intuition. It's just how well you listen to it, right? So if you and your intuition are distant friends, you don't trust it very often, let me give you a rundown of what intuition actually is. It's your inner knowing. It's that gut feeling. It's trusting your gut. It's recognizing signs and synchronicities around you and knowing, just that inner knowing of something that you don't need the science behind it. You just know. And the reason some of us have a really tight grip on our intuition and why others kind of can't hear it, it's because a lot of the time when we're little, we're very close with our intuition when we're little. And we grow up with people telling us it's all in your head. It's your imagination. And pretty soon you start believing that and you're like, okay, well, even though I just had this inkling that I should go to the right, I'm still going to go left. And then you end up, in traffic because there was an accident or something. So this week, we are going to work on improving that. And it starts with kind of unlocking it, with practicing, getting used to listening, right? We all stay so busy, especially this time of year, that we stop hearing our inner knowing. We stop listening to that intuitive part of ourselves. So I'm going to give you a little exercise today to try out, and I hope that you'll continue it into 2025. It really will change. It'll change your life, but it will help you to manifest things faster and also to stop giving up. So often when I do manifesting coaching, a lot of times people come to me because they've been trying to manifest something and it just doesn't happen. And they think, is the law of attraction broken for me? But usually what it is the only way you're not going to get your dream is if you stop trying, right? Most people stop without knowing how close they were. So let's work on your intuition. I'm going to back up. So I wrote some notes. Think of your intuition as a compass. It is always pointing toward your highest good. You do not get an intuitive gut feeling if it's not going to lead to your highest good, right? I know that cartoons, you have the angel on your shoulder and the devil on your shoulder. Well, you might get bad ideas. I think of them like the bad idea bears from Avenue Q. But that's different than your intuition. Your intuition is just this knowing on an instinctive level. You know. And so how do we get better at doing that? I have a couple of exercises for you to give a try. First off, I did have Morgan pull a card for us tonight with the intention of what does my intuition need me to know today, right? And this is for all of us. So let's give it a whirl. Oh, nice. The Ace of Pentacles. This is great. This is a perfect card. So the aces are always a new beginning, a divinely authorized beginning. And Pentacles is the element of earth. This represents us, our earthly goods, our earthly body. And you can see the pentacle is the seed and it's growing a dandelion, which is a new beginning. So if you keep working to unlock your intuition, it's going to grow and blossom into a new beginning for you. So what a wonderful card to kick off our week of spiritual growth. Oh my gosh, love it. But tarot cards are an excellent way to work on your intuition. So the reason for it is that when you pull a card, it kind of gets your ego out of the way. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I pull cards on YouTube, I don't look at them first, because that inkling when you first turn it over, that is the most honest message that you can get. So I know that sometimes when you're starting out with tarot cards, it can feel like, but I don't want to flub it. I want to know what it means, as far as videoing it. But when you read tarot cards intuitively, which is what we're working on, right? It doesn't matter what my beautiful guidebook that I wrote says, because if you turned over this card and your grandfather was a big time gardener, trust that intuition. Maybe your grandfather is on the other side and going to be sending you signs this week, right? So pay attention to what your first inkling is when you turn over that tarot card, and trust it. That is the first step to trusting your intuition. So once you do that, what do you do with it? Write it down. Write down what your first inkling was. And you're going to journal for a week. So write it down. What was your inkling of this card when you turned it over? And then the next day, write down what happened and go, oh my gosh, that's what that meant. And because the more that you can see the connections, the more you trust your intuition. It's like dusting off an old friend, right? So anyway, trust that first inkling when you turn over the card. And tarot cards are not the only tool to help with your intuition. Oracle cards work too. But there are a lot of other tools, crystals and pendulums and candles and meditation and all kinds of things. But for today, if you have a deck, if you don't have a deck, there are even online tarot that you can pull, but decks themselves work better because they're tactile. You can feel them. But anyway, try and do that. I actually enjoy, and I have this in my videos for my clients, but I have for the past, I think 5 or 6 years, I enjoy these ritual tarot journals. I use them every year. And you just write down the tarot cards that you pulled that day and what your thoughts were. And then you write down your reflection after. You can see I have some things highlighted because sometimes things happen and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my theme for the year. But because I've been doing that so long, I trust my intuition. I listen, I get those feelings, and I take action on them. And that is what you're shooting for. That's why manifestation, you can really work with the universe when you are in tune with it, when you're listening. Because people talk about manifesting as co-creating, but how can you co-create if you can't listen and trust the messages you're getting from the universe, right? So build it up. Start this journal. Pull a card every day. Ask what your intention should be for the day, or like we just did, what is my intuition trying to say? And pull a card and write it down. Again, the more often that you do this, the more you will be able to trust that inner knowing. And again, tarot and oracle cards are not the only way. You can also try meditating. You can meditate with the intention of, what do I need to know today? What is my intuition trying to tell me? And meditate on it. And then watch for signs. And we'll talk more about signs later this week. But, watch for repeated numbers on your phone. Like if you keep looking at your phone and it's 333 and 222, that's the universe telling you you're on the right track. Here we go. Pay attention, right? So give that a whirl. And if you're seeing the signs, write them down in your little journal too. Write notes about these synchronicities that happened. I just happened to meet the exact right person who was looking for my service. What? Those are all things that you can work on trusting your intuition. Maybe if you watched the videos last week, I was talking about that day in Staples where a woman who had a cleaning service went in to make a new flyer. And in doing so, the woman in line behind her asked if she does cleaning in this particular neighborhood. And she said, oh my gosh, I live there. And she said, oh, I have multiple units and we would love to work with you. And they swapped phone numbers. And it was like she manifested that by showing up. By showing up. Her intuition probably told her the new year's coming, you should make a flyer. And she went down there, and the synchronicity was this other woman was going to Staples for a whole different reason, but their paths crossed at just the right time, and she manifested a new client. These things happen all the time, but you have to trust your intuition and take action on it. So my assignment for you tonight is, if you have a deck, pull a card. Ask that question, what is my intuition trying to tell me? And pull that card. And if you feel like it, I would love to hear what card you pulled in the comments. And again, if you don't have a deck, use a virtual deck that's online. There are many that are free. And just ask that question first. What is my intuition trying to tell me? And then pull a card, and that first inkling you get when you see the card, that is the message. All right? So write it in the comments which card you got. I'm excited to hear, and work on that intuition. And this is a project. It's going to take longer than one day. So maybe this whole week that we're working on manifesting our spiritual connection, maybe all week. Write down, pull one card and write it down, all right? And at the end of the week, let's see how much your intuition has already started kicking in, even in such a short time, because it will, all right? Have a great week. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.